Okay. Thank you for your patience. We'll call to order this Board of Commission meeting, February 12th at 2:15 p.m. We like to start this meeting with prayer reading or thought. Chris Shields will give us that, and then Krista Hoarding will give us the pledge.
Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we are so grateful to be gathered here today as members of Utah County. We're so grateful for this wonderful county, for the people that serve. We are grateful for those that serve in duties that are important and dangerous, and all the things that we do here in the county. We ask that that would continue to protect them and bless them and their families in their service. We are grateful for the blessings that we have in this wonderful country and in this county, and we ask that that would bless us with thy spirit, and that we can be examples to others in our communities. And we're grateful for those that live here in this county. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chris.
If everyone would please rise and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Krista. All right, we are honored today to have Spanish Fork Fire and EMS here to present. I have a special presentation. So,
thanks, Commissioners, for having us here today to be able to recognize some of our members of our community in this county for a life-saving award. At Spanish Fork Fire and EMS,
sorry, Chief Eddie Hells, for the record.
Oh, sorry,
You're good.
Eddie Hells, Fire Chief of Spanish Fork Fire and EMS. Yeah,
She was wondering.
I'm sorry about that.
You're good.
But we're excited to be able to honor those in our communities for doing things that not a lot of people get to do, and that's to save a life. At Spanish Fork, we like to recognize those in our community. And as you know, we service a large area of Utah County. And so this event actually took place in Benjamin. And we felt it was the place that we should honor these individuals is here at County Commission. And so we're grateful that they are able to join us. There was actually 7 total individuals involved in this incident that occurred. And then we have 3 of them here, it looks like. Anyone else that I've missed? So 3 of the 7 are here. But today we'd like to honor Rob. I will screw up names. You want to say your last name, Rob? Zafra. Sebastian Pobletti, James Paredes, Chad Nichols, Scott Abbott, Paul Kane, and Cody Reynolds for providing life-saving CPR to one of their co-athletes that they were playing soccer with at the Shooter Soccer Club on November 2nd. These individuals witnessed one of the other athletes collapse in their midst, and without hesitation, they sprang into action and started doing what we all would do, and that's activate the 911 system, start CPR, and on site there at the Shooter Soccer Complex, they have an AED, which we all know that's the third link in survival. And so they got that, started CPR, put the AED on this gentleman, and used the electricity that it provided. And by the time Fire and EMS staff that is also here with me today, 2 of the individuals that were there, paramedic Ann Dearden and AEMT Morgan Carter, by the time they got there, this gentleman had a pulse, and they were able to take care over from these men and were able to transport this patient to Mountain View Hospital in Payson that has a cath lab, and they were able to do cath lab procedures and allow this man to walk out of the facility and return to normal life, which is an incredible incident. American Heart Association emphasizes the critical role of bystander CPR and AED use in saving lives. And according to their statistics, immediate CPR can double or even triple a person's chance of survival. And then when that's combined with the use of an AED, those odds improve even more dramatically. Early defibrillation delivered by an AED is the only definitive treatment for ventricular fibrillation, which is a common cause of sudden cardiac arrest. These actions that the men perfectly illustrated show that the statistics and the profound impact of quick and immediate action is truly what it is. So I'd like to have these three men come forward. And I know one of you can't stand, so if the other two want to come up, I have some awards, but before I give those awards out, I also want to bring up Chris Shields from Mountain View Hospital to introduce her cath lab, those individuals that worked on this man, and also recognize these three individuals as well. Chris?
Thanks, Chief Hells. It's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, Commissioner Gordon, Commissioner Beltran, and also Sheriff Bolton. So thank you very, very much for being here, or for having me be here. My name is Chris Shields, and I have the privilege of serving as the Director of EMS Relations for HCA Healthcare in Utah County, and it is really truly an honor to be able to stand before you today alongside the incredible team that played a vital role in saving a life. We wish we could have had the patient here, and sometimes we do when we do these type of things, but today he was unable to make it. The bystanders, so the vital role is the bystanders on scene. They played that. The dispatchers were involved as well, the EMS personnel, Mountain View Hospital, the emergency department, and the cath lab team, and also the cardiologist. Today, we come together to celebrate something truly remarkable, the gift of lives and the heroes who made it possible. This incident, which occurred just a few months ago, was really a testament of the power of rapid response, teamwork, and courage. There are many factors working against the patient that night. It was late, when most people are asleep, and emergency responses can be delayed. But yet, despite the odds, we are here today recognizing the outcome that could have been drastically different. Because of the quick actions of those on scene, these three fellows here and more, recognizing a true emergency, calling 911, starting effective CPR, and utilizing the AED, this patient had a chance for a chance at life. The story is a hope. This is a story of hope, teamwork, and decisive action. And as Eddie has described, research shows that immediate CPR and early defibrillation significantly increases the chances of survival of cardiac arrest victims. CPR helps maintain that blood flow to vital organs, while the AED can restore the heart rhythm. Every minute without these interventions decreases a person's chance of survival by 7 to 10%, making early action absolutely critical. In fact, when CPR and AED are used promptly, survival rates can double or triple. So today, we recognize and express our deepest gratitude to the bystanders who had the courage to step forward and take action. Their willingness to respond without hesitation made all the difference for this patient. This moment reinforces the importance of community members knowing CPR, understanding how to use the AED, and the critical role of calling 911, because any one of us could find ourselves in a predicament to be able to save a life at any time. We also recognize the EMS team. They're not all here, but there were 5 of them. And we recognize this team for their swift response, for their clinical expertise, and their quick decision-making. Upon arrival, they assessed the patient and recognized that he was experiencing a severe heart attack. They immediately activated the cath lab at Mountain View Hospital. They alerted the emergency department, ensuring that the hospital team was prepared upon the patient arrival. Once at Mountain View, the emergency team provided critical interventions before the patient was quickly taken to the cath lab for an angiogram. There, it was confirmed that the patient was suffering a major cardiac event, commonly known as the widowmaker heart attack. The interventional cardiologist and the cath lab team successfully placed 2 stents, opening the blocked coronary arteries that would otherwise prove to be fatal. Because of the combined efforts of bystanders, 911 dispatchers, EMS responders, and the dedicated medical professionals, this patient had the best possible chance of survival. This is a powerful reminder of the strength of our community and the incredible impact that we can have when we all come together in a time of need. We also extend our gratitude for the city of Spanish Fork for ensuring that AEDs are readily available and accessible throughout the community, as well as those that are dedicating their time to teach CPR and how to use the AED, the courses that they teach. This empowers others with that skill to act in an emergency. So let this moment serve as a reminder that life is precious, and with the right knowledge and preparation, that each of us has the power to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
So if we could get our first responders to come up. Oh, let's see. The bystanders up here. Yes. Yes, you too. Stay up. Yeah, stay
Y'all
up here.
stay up here. Yeah.
I'm Nate Black. I'm the Director of Communications and Community Engagement for Mountain Star Hospitals in Utah County. Chad Nichols. James Arn Puertas. Congratulations. And Rob Zafra.
Chief, I know that Cody Reynolds isn't here, but his wife is here. I don't know if you want to present his award to her or
Cody's wife to be here.
Jessica.
Thank you for being here. And Jessica, we have a thing for you as well.
And this is for Cody.
Yes. Thank you. These are the plaques that we'll give them from Spanish Fork Fire and EMS for their
Excellent.
efforts.
And we have something as well, some challenge coins. And then, Carrie, did you have anything separate that I'm? No? Yes? Maybe?
We also want to recognize, we wish that they were all here, but we'll have 2. So these were a couple of the Spanish Fork EMS providers that were on the scene that also did what they did and got the patient to the definitive care. So Ann Dearden. And then Morgan Carter.
Perfect.
And I'm sure that and then I also have the cath lab. This is the cath lab team from Mountain View right here in the red shirts.
Excellent.
And they were part of the cath lab team that were there and saw the patient in the cath lab and put 2 stents in the patient. So
Very
anyway,
cool.
I'd like to recognize them.
I think this is
We
an
have-
awesome opportunity to show that how big of a team it takes to save one person's life. And so between the hospital staff, bystanders, deputies, EMS and fire, to get one person life back, it takes a whole lot of people. And so this shows that teamwork that went into that. So I think this is incredible.
Agreed. Thank you.
Site as well.
We have some staff that want to say something.
Hi, my name is Mason Bennett. I'm the Director of Operations for an organization called One Kind Act Today. One Kind Act Today is partnered with the county to help with initiatives and efforts and projects to become one of our certified counties of kindness, actually, a community of kindness. And I commend you all for what you're doing here to celebrate the heroes in your community, but I also commend very much the heroes in the community who took action with this. Before I joined One Kind today, I had a medical background, and I very much know the importance of early intervention in situations like this. And so I really would like to commend you all very much for the work that you did. And at One Kind today, we find that the best way to get kindness to live on is to stop, recognize, and celebrate it, which is exactly what you're all doing here today. We would also like to share with each of the heroes here in the community one of our One Kind Act Today kindness coins to celebrate the kindness and the efforts that you gave in saving this gentleman in the community.
Thank you. And then, yeah, we'll come down as well and shake your hand and give you one as well. And if you can get the certificates to, is that okay to hand them to you guys? Will you guys play soccer together, or did they? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think we should get one big group photo.
One big
as well.
group photo. I agree. That'll be great.
I think we should.
All right. So let's see. I got 4 of these. And let's see. Sebastian. Oh, Rob. I know Rob's here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sebastian, is that not here? Okay. And then James. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
You bet. Good. Scott, is that one? No. Paul Lane? No. Cody Reynolds. This would be in here. And then this one has got to be for Chad. Where's the best spot?
I think we should go right
Over here?
over there, and
Okay.
then everyone face the crowd if we would. I think we could all fit.
If I get these to you, Chad, is that okay? Do you know the other individuals? You know them?
I know so that, yeah. Well,
If you'll just get those to me.
yeah, for sure.
You were kind of crucial to that moment.
Sounds good. If it wasn't.
And we're gonna have to squeeze together as best we can. Can we do a second row, maybe? Anyone volunteering? Yeah, shorter ones would be great. That looks better. Okay, everyone look this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's great. Thank you so much.
Did you have anything to add, Commissioner Beltran?
No, thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah. I have my merit badge, but I don't know if I would trust it. It's been a minute, so I probably could use a refresher on my CPR skills. So thanks, Krista. Okay. All right. Now the 2025 Resident Satisfaction Survey results presentation. Do you have someone leading this?
Rich.
Rich? Terrific.
All right, Richard Pyatt, Communications Manager. I'm pleased to present the results of our opinion survey. This is something that surveys are an interesting snapshot, if you will, or a report card from residents, and a great opportunity for residents to communicate about the county where they live. Generally, you'll see the findings of the public opinion survey show that people feel very positively about living in Utah County. But I think you'll also notice, especially if you read between the lines and read the comments that people have left in email, that there are strong responses about the way that the county is growing, the cost of living, taxes, and all the congestion that goes along with it. And you also find that people value the quality of life here a lot. A large number of people who responded say that they've lived here a long time, too. You'll see that most of the findings, people that have lived here for no less than 10 years, or even lifelong residents, are most of the people who responded to our survey. And in comments, they again expressed concern about maintaining the quality of life that they've come accustomed to. They value our natural resources and want to improve some of the treasures like Bridal Veil Falls and some of the trails and access along the waterways and the canyons as well. So the bottom line of the survey, let's see. Oh, okay. Bottom line of the survey is, what do you think? So we emailed several times from our email list. We posted on social media, posted on the website, and in the end, we got 2,589 responses. And if you'll look at the pie chart, you can see that most of the responses are from the central and north part of Utah County. We did get 34% from the west and south end of the counties as well. And you'll see that some of the preferences for some of the recreation areas reflect where people live as well. And the bottom line is, what do you think about Utah County? What do you think of the quality of life? Are we moving in the right direction? The vast majority, 69%, say that they think that generally, yes, the county is moving in the right direction, but they have concerns. And there is also a 19% positive response to that question as well, which I think is pretty good. 85% of the people, which is probably a solid B, think that the quality of life here in Utah County is good. As far as the job review about how you, the commissioners, and how the county, in fact, is doing, 57% said that they're not sure, which means that a lot of people aren't really quite sure what the county's role is in their life or what it is that everybody's doing around here. But you did get a 30% approval rating, which I think is pretty good as well. Some of the public comments that we got are what I referred to earlier. The overcrowding is the single biggest issue in this county, said one person. Home density is too high. Traffic is very congested. And when you get the results of the survey, I could forward you the Qualtrics results. They show that there are strong feelings that way, and some interesting other comments as well. When it comes to the services that the county offers, a lot of people said that they were satisfied with this. The vast majority, in fact, we got 3% saying they're extremely satisfied, but we also have those 33% that say that they're not really quite sure whether they're satisfied or not. So they're just kind of holding their cards close to their chest. And then the 3% that were extremely dissatisfied, we're not really sure what they're dissatisfied about, but we'll try to work on it and get back to them. When it comes to living in Utah County, we want to know what their quality of life reviews are. 54% say that they feel safe living in Utah County. They feel strongly that they're safe just driving around, doing things that they like to do. 38% say they agree. And then a vast minority say that they do not feel safe, which is good. They also feel good about the kinds of businesses available to them, and that the county is offering the kinds of businesses that it should, 37 and 44% together. And likewise, that the county itself, the government, is providing the services that they feel like that it should provide. And then the review of the only outlier, I separated roads because I thought it was interesting that most people say that they're satisfied with the condition of the roads, but you'll see that 23% said neither, and then you have 25% say that they're dissatisfied, and then 8% say that they're extremely dissatisfied. We didn't get a lot of people saying that they were extremely dissatisfied by anything in this, but I think the roads kind of reflect the growth and the congestion and all those kinds of things. So I think that's something that I wanted to point out separately. As far as some of the other county services, though, so we have the sheriff's office. A lot of people feel satisfied with the sheriff's office. They feel satisfied with the way the elections are playing out and the job that the county is doing when it comes to the elections. And then also the health department. People feel very good about the health department. 36% said that they didn't really have an opinion about that, but that non-opinion probably reflects the fact that they haven't had to use the services. I think the people that have occasion to engage with the health department feel satisfied or extremely satisfied, and that's a pretty good showing. Our parks and trails also get a very good review. A lot of people really love the natural resources here, and you'll see that 21% and 54% are either extremely or satisfied with the parks and trails and the services that we provide here. Now, when it comes to the favorite projects, the kinds of things that we could use our tourism tax dollars for, we wanted to know in broad categories what people thought about where their favorite projects or what their favorite recreational activities are. And the majority, 34%, 34% said parks and recreation. We gave them a couple choices here. They could pick a couple of the choices. 34% chose parks and recreation. The Provo Airport expansion was a priority for a lot of people. I'm hearing a lot of really positive things about the Provo Airport. People want it expanded. They want to be able to utilize it even more than they already are. Local arts and culture organizations also rank fairly high. That would be theater, music, art exhibits, that kind of thing. Fewer people prioritize the fairground facilities and the convention center, but I mean, obviously those things are very important to us as well as economic drivers. We broke down the projects into further categories and wanted to know a little bit more about what kinds of specific parks and recreation project interests that they had an interest in. And the Riverside Trails were probably the most that we got, along with Bridalveil Falls. Those two are considered some of the treasures that the county has, and they wanted to see them even more utilized and improved. And the trails include the Jordan River Canal, the Murdoch Canal, and the Salem Canal, improving those trails. Bridalveil Falls, obviously people love that. They want to improve the access there and reduce the conflicts that happen on that trail between the pedestrians and the bikes and whatnot. Dry Creek Reservoir, only 18% prioritize that. Not many people know what kinds of plans there are for some of these projects. Dry Creek Reservoir is an idea. Vivian Park improvements. People like Vivian Park. They'd like to see some money devoted to that. Creating a beach at Vineyard. There was a big pile of ice there a couple of weeks ago, but they'd like to see that expanded so that people could enjoy that in the summertime too. And then the Equestrian Center only got 4%. So not a lot of people are riding horses or are thinking about riding horses in Lehigh these days, but there are some people who feel strongly about that and they picked that one. So that's the results of the survey. I can forward the results, the Qualtrics results, and you can read the comments yourself and come to your own conclusions about it as well.
Thank you, Rich.
I can answer any questions if you have any at this point.
No, thank you, Rich. This was a week one. I asked you to do this, my first week on the job, and it's great to see these. And I was very happy to see the results. Very high approval ratings across. So that's a great testament to all our staff and all the efforts that have been done here. And I'd love to continue this as an annual survey moving forward.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Okay. The third work session is the presentation by the Sheriff's Office Victim Services Program.
Hello, I am back again for our presentation. My name's Lauren Davis. I'm here. My supervisor, Christiana Wagstaff, wanted me to come to present today. Okay, next slide. Oh, I get it. Thank you. Okay, so is it working? Oh.
I don't think it's working. He's going to have to advance it for you.
Okay. So you can go skip this slide and the next one. And one more time. So this is our team. Christiana, she's our victim services supervisor. We got a new victim advocate. She's awesome. Her name's Sadie. She speaks English and Spanish, and it's really helpful. Me, and then Aranza, and she's also one of our Spanish-speaking advocates. Go to the next one. We cover the county, but these are our specific areas that are part of our jurisdiction. So when we're serving victims of crime, these are victims of crime that are specifically from these areas. Our biggest, I'd say most of the victims we serve are from Eagle Mountain and Vineyard, Santa Quinn and Salem as well, and then all of the other fun places listed up there. Okay, next slide. So we're going to just go over our numbers from the year and our budget. And then we're going to go over some of our hopes and dreams and goals for 2025. So next slide. And again, thank you. These are the different services that we offered. We offered a lot of information and referral services to victims. We go through police reports proactively. We comb through police reports and we determine if there was a crime involving a victim. And then we reach out to those victims. And then we also sometimes will get called out on scene to those as well. But most of the time we're in the office proactively pulling these cases and reaching out to these victims. There you can see we did some personal advocacy. This is helping them with immigration, visas, transportation, getting gas, writing letters to their employer or school or things like that. Emotional support and safety services. Safety planning is a big one. Prevent anything from becoming more serious and potentially lethal. And then lastly, helping them navigate the criminal justice system. So updating them on court, reading victim impact statements, speaking to the judge on their behalf, and things like that. So next slide. Here are our numbers from the year. We served almost 1,000, but 929 victims. You can see the numbers of adult physical assault, adult sexual assault. The crime that we served the most victims of was domestic or family violence, which is not surprising. I'd say that's the vast majority of what we do work with. But yeah, that's what we worked with this year. I feel like we were able to help a lot of victims. I feel like I was able to connect personally with a lot of victims and help them. So next slide. So what we have noticed as a victim advocate team is there are victims throughout Utah County that don't have equal access to quality services. And so we're wanting to help fix that by starting a safe house, and it would be right next door to the Special Victims Unit in Provo. And basically this safe house would provide all the services that victims aren't getting throughout the county when they need them, and it would be for free. So what we're hoping is to have legal aides who can help assist victims with protective orders, to assist them with navigating things like divorce and civil things. We're hoping to have the refuge partner with us, to have a community victim advocate to help with these domestic violence victims, to have a volunteer program to help reach out to a lot of victims throughout the county, and then also to start a criminal justice support group. One of the hard things is that victims frequently, I have heard this several times, and a lot of advocates will also speak to this. A lot of victims will say going through the court process is more traumatic than the crime itself. We're wanting to give them some sort of support with other victims who know exactly what they're going through, and can work together and commiserate if they need to and come up with solutions and just kind of have a guided facilitator for this group. And so we're wanting to start that as well. But basically, this safe house would be in a locked facility. It would only serve victims, and we'd have intake specialists at the front to help assess whether someone is a victim or not, and then set them up with legal help, set them up with child care help, set them up with divorce help, set them up with therapy help, connect them with the refuge. And it's kind of like a one-stop shop to help these victims who are incredibly vulnerable get access to everything that they need, very similar to the Children's Justice Center, but specifically for domestic violence. I do feel like it's a big gap that our county has. And so that's kind of what we're working towards. My supervisor, Christiana, is writing a grant for this, and she's working alongside the CJC and the refuge and the sheriff's office to complete this. And so we're really excited about that. Okay, next slide. This is the house that it's next to the Special Victims Unit, and we're hoping to obtain that. Okay, next slide. Okay, so you can see the different programs that we're wanting to partner with. So the Refuge is the nonprofit in Utah County that specializes in sexual assault and domestic violence. So we're just hoping to have them have one of their community advocates be housed in this center, get a volunteer program up and going, have the CJC have support and referrals from them. There's an ICANN model in Utah County that has case managers, and this is to help people, from what I understand, help eliminate the threat of homelessness. And I think this applies to a lot of victims of domestic violence. And then lastly, the FJC is very similar to this, but it's at the Utah County Justice Center, I believe. And we're wanting to have it in a locked, safe facility with all the resources that they need there. Okay, next one. These are the benefits. So there would be a lot of services to victims. The community would be able to work together to serve these victims, all these different nonprofits and agencies. And we're really excited because we feel like it'd be a really collaborative and holistic approach to serving victims. Okay, next slide. So these are I guess my supervisor is going to be applying for funding through those avenues to get office space, support, helping us become expert witnesses for domestic violence and get a volunteer program going. Next slide. And this is the time frame. So she's currently working with Ben Venoy to discuss logistics. She's writing the grant. By March, we'll want to have that submitted. In June, that will be when we figure out if it's approved or not. And then hopefully if it's approved in July, we can get this going. So, okay. And that is it for the slideshow. Do you guys have any questions about domestic violence victims or services in the county or anything like that?
I don't, Miss Lauren. Thanks for
Okay.
being here. How about
Thanks
you?
for having me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Okay. All right. Next item is our public hearing. Before we go into public hearing, Jeremy, do you want to cue it up for us? Tell us what we're talking about.
Great. So Jeremy Walker, Director of Financial Services in the Auditor's Office. So we've given you a schedule and a memo going over these proposed changes. The big picture here, this is essentially a cleanup amendment. Since the adoption of the budget in December, we've identified some errors and omissions happened in the documents. And I think the big takeaway here is there's no additional spending that's being authorized here. It's just moving dollars between funds and departments. So it isn't a net increase to the overall spend. It's just getting things in the right bucket. So if you're interested, I could go through each one. Otherwise, I'll just leave it at that.
Already have.
I'm good that
Good.
way too.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, I entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're now in public hearing. We are now in public hearing to discuss the budget. Yeah, this is for the budget amendment. And public comment will be at the end, yes.
So Aaron Davidson, County Clerk. So I just, this budget is basically moving division from the County Clerk's office to the Commissioners. And I just do want to go on record that I was never advised on or consulted on this move. This was a move that was strictly decided upon by the Commissioners. And so I just wanted to go on record that I was not consulted with that. And I didn't really agree to it. I was voluntold that it was being moved. And I would like to have kept that division in the clerk's department. I don't think the commissioners should have a functional capacity of a function that's being performed for the county. That should have been held in in one of the departments. So I just wanted to go on record that I never really agreed with this move, and it was kind of brought upon me.
Thanks, Aaron. Anyone else that would like to discuss the budget? Okay, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
Yes, I'm not supposed to comment in public session, but I do want to make note that I did reach out to Aaron and discuss this. So I just want to make sure that I put that out there as well. And I move to adjourn from public comment.
Okay, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We are now out of public hearing. Okay, and we will build our consent agenda. Now, any of the items on consent?
None for me.
Okay. I wanted to highlight item 22, and it can pass on consent, but just, that was a long time effort. Appreciate Public Works and Sheriff's Department went up there with us. We worked really hard, and so that's a big grant. Just wanted to highlight how great that'll be for AF Canyon. Let's see here. So of those 40 items, you're okay?
Yes.
Okay. And then regular agenda, let's see, it looks like we've got items 1 through 9. Let's see.
6 and 7.
Okay, 6 and 7. And then, yeah, I think I was good on 5. Okay. 6 and 7, and then items, and then 11 through 18.
Keep 16. And then I just want to give thanks to Ezra and Anthony, the attorney's office, for number 15, the school district boundaries map. That was a heavy lift, so thank you to them.
And then do we need any action on item 12 as a result of, excuse me, if there's some updated, seem like kind of like the carrot and the stick?
Yeah, we made some corrections. I sent an email a little earlier, consistent with the new ordinance that's going to be passed. I think that was in the spirit of what Commissioner Powers Gardner was thinking, and it's my understanding that she was supportive of that ordinance. And so I think we're okay to just move forward with it.
Okay. I didn't see any others on there that, so I'm good that way. And then any others as far as that goes?
Nope.
Okay, then for closed session, we'll strike 19, 20, 21 and hold.
We do need 19.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep, so we'll hold 19, strike 20 and 21, and hold 22. That was a lot.
Okay, on regular agenda, we will be holding number 6, number 7, number 16. Then as far as closed, we will hold number 19, strike 20, strike 21, and hold 22.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jolene. Okay, so moving back to 6 And
Yeah,
6 and 7.
Greg, are you speaking to 6?
I am.
Okay, just quick question. From my understanding, we're just simply moving the administration of this from community development to public works.
Correct.
Okay, great. That's any additional
Nope,
color
it
to
just, it fits better in Public Works, and so this is what kind of what
Okay.
we're doing.
Great. I move to approve item number 6.
And I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
And 7 is the,
And Greg as well. I read through the planning commission minutes. Looks like some changes there. Were changes made to incorporate planning commission, and if so, what changes?
Yeah, so the changes that were included in that language were to, the red line versions were included in the attachments. Mainly, it was just referencing continuity throughout, referencing an agreement rather than just in all those spots. Other than that, there was just, it was just kind of making sure that everything fit together, because this was kind of adjusted from an existing exception to allow this for a railroad crossing and private access to across those. Other than that, there was one staff change that was identified on the red lines, and that's the one we're recommending. That change was only to be consistent with the reference earlier and to make sure that they match. That was something that the attorney's office recommended we include in this change. So other than that, there weren't many changes from what was originally proposed.
And no additional oversight from your office on this. More of it just needs to be recorded on title that it's a easement, not in perpetuity, and
Yeah,
it's
so
a civil issue.
yeah, so there will be some steps that we will review, making sure that there is a restrictive covenant that makes sure that if that agreement doesn't remain in place or isn't with the current owner, that would result in that occupied structure having to not have a C of O at that time. We don't anticipate that being a big issue, but it is a concern. That's kind of why this was brought up with the planning commission, and that's the concerns that they had. But they felt that there wasn't really a good way to mitigate the dealing with the railroad company, and felt that this was still a good solution for situations that were kind of dealing with railroad crossings.
Yeah, I think it is a good solution. It's a not as rare of an issue as I thought. In reading the minutes, it sounds like it applies to a decent amount of homes, but it sounds as though it's been the way it's operated for many years, and we don't foresee any future changes.
Yeah, agreed. There are some risks to that. However, like you said, this has been in place for other dwellings, and it has not been a serious concern. Yes, there have been some issues that have been brought up, but there hasn't been an issue where any occupied structures have lost their occupancy based on this.
Great, thank you, Greg. I'll move to approve item number 7.
I will second that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then 16.
16, do we, Zach have any, Eric. Just a very basic question for Eric, but I just want to hear it from you before I vote yes. You feel we're not putting any public health in jeopardy by making these changes, correct?
So I rely on our, much brighter environmental health scientists to inform me on this, and this is striking that balance between source protection and development, and making sure that groundwater is protected, and so this is the best balance we could find without. There's still that risk whenever you're making changes to a policy, and we feel collectively this is the best balance between development and the association and future issues like this as well. So I don't know if Jason or Damon want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I live for it. So what I would speak to is we certainly want to support the direction the commission wants to go on this. To answer your question, we are making it less restrictive. We can put septic systems closer to water sources. That's by its nature, and we are eliminating some of the source's ability to contest that. That's what we're doing here. Again,
With that being said, you feel we're making a fine policy decision, and we are in a safe distance still from septic to source, in your professional opinion.
I wouldn't speak positively or negatively towards that. There's just too many factors, I guess, to speak to that. If you're speaking to a specific source, I could give you a better, but we're doing this unilaterally across the county. So there's so many different types of soils, structures, climate, terrain, all these things like that. So we're just trying to walk that delicate balance of private property rights and also protecting sources. It's probably the most difficult thing we deal with in environmental health day in and day out, because it has been a hot button issue for a lot of years.
One thing I'd just like to add to it is this change, I guess, for protection zones 3 and 4, it falls more in line with what the state guidance documents provide, at least the direction that they give us. It falls closer in line with what the state guidance document says for source protection zones 3 and 4. Source protection zone 2, it allows, it's the same as the state guidance document with the ability for certain water systems to object to it. The state, in their guidance documents, they don't provide anything about objecting or anything like that. So that's one difference for source protection zone 2. It does allow certain sources that have done the correct, I guess, the true study to be able to object to it. So.
Jolynn, that's Damon Swenson for the record. I'm just on a roll today. I'm trying to get them in the habit of stating their name when they.
Question for Ezra. Not as confident of answers as I was looking for. Any pending issue that would be in adherence if I move this to next week?
No, I don't think there's any huge problem. There is one developer that's reached out that's interested in seeing this pass with the season warming up.
But 1 week
right
will
now
not
they're
do an
stalling,
economic disadvantage to them.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
My guess is moving it 1 week would be better than essentially a denial, right?
I'm not sure I'm there. I was hoping for a little more
feel goods.
Yes.
Of it.
Yeah.
Understood.
So I need 1 more week. So I move to continue item number 16 to the February 19th meeting.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now is the time for our public comment. If anyone would like to address the commission, you'll have 3 minutes. Please come on up, state your name. Oh, excuse me, 2. Our clock's at 2 minutes.
Oh, 2?
Go ahead.
Kenneth Michael Pachork. I got a question. If I committed a crime and you helped me out with money or a place to live, would you be liable?
And during public comment, we just listen.
Okay.
We don't address.
Well, this immigration problem that you are using them as pawns, like the homeless, to make money is ridiculous. And what I heard last session with the VA asking for help too, my family that served would be disgraced of what was said. But you should check out United Way. and you have all the information on the unlawfully people here, because it's America first. And I want to serve you with a lawful notification letter. Here, you can take that.
Great.
And I've been asking many times. Now I'm not asking. I'm going to use law, and I know law very well. Do you know Section 1, or Article 1, Section 3? Any of you?
Again, we're just public comment. We just have,
Do you
we
talk
don't
state
engage.
constitution? Well, it's the law of the land, and you better start following it. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will go into closed session. Thank you, everyone.